It's no secret that I am a huge Marvel Comics fan, and I'm an even bigger fan of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, or MCU. In this video, I'm going to review the latest Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness trailer and the poster that came out with it, because there are a ton of Easter eggs and little hidden secrets in that trailer and in that poster that I really want to discuss and talk about, because I am so excited for this movie. Probably more excited than I was for Spider-Man No Way Home. Let's get started. First of all, welcome back to the channel. I'm Rynsey. Thank you for finding this video today. We're going to start off with a spoiler warning because I'm going to talk about the WandaVision TV show, Spider-Man No Way Home, several of the previous MCU movies, the first Doctor Strange movie as well. There's a lot to discuss in this video. So spoiler warning, this is your chance to leave if you haven't seen the trailer or if you don't want any previous Marvel movie to be spoiled. Get out of here if you don't want spoilers. Otherwise, let's go. So the trailer starts off with Doctor Strange, the Doctor Strange that we know, seemingly having nightmares. Buildings are melting away. He sees a monster screaming at a young lady's face while she's chained up. And it just seems like reality is crashing down. You see Doctor Strange with a ponytail falling through a portal. It's really just kind of setting the scene that this is a darker movie. Sam Raimi is the director, so he's a horror movie director if I'm not mistaken. So I think this movie is going to have a darker tone. If you look at that building melting away, if you watched What If on Disney Plus, it's very similar to that, where the buildings were melting away as the universe was being destroyed. Maybe they're linking that cartoon into live action in this movie. Next, you see the Scarlet Witch, Wanda Maximoff, and Strange is asking her about what she knows concerning the multiverse, and she thinks, she knows it's dangerous. She's like, they're being very ominous in the trailer, so you can tell that this is going to be a conflict in the movie, a point of interest in the movie. And it almost seems like she's casting an illusion, making things look happy. There's like an orchard of like flowery trees, but I have a feeling that it's really a hellscape. Next, Wanda says that Vision had his theories about the multiverse. That kind of ties previous movies into this, because Tony Stark built Vision's intelligence to be able to solve very complex problems. And then based with the Mind Stone information that Vision had, it's almost like he could kind of piece things together, and he knew that the multiverse was very dangerous, but maybe he knew how to transverse it but never did. That leads me into another thing. Vision might pop up in this movie somehow. If you watched WandaVision, there's a version of Vision who's like a white in color. It was a manufactured version of Vision, and he seemingly got his intelligence back in a way. I don't know, just a little thought I'm throwing out there. So see Baron Mordo in this, who was an antagonist in the first Doctor Strange film, and we haven't seen him since. He has long hair and dreadlocks in this version. I'm wondering if he's a multiversal version of Baron Mordo. The next scene goes to Doctor Strange being handcuffed in some electronic, like very secure looking cuffs, and he's being walked by robot sentries who look similar to Ultron, or what Ultron would have made. And it's in a very futuristic setting, almost like a courthouse or a hall, like a town hall, a very official looking building, but futuristic. Strange is walked up, and if you look up, there's a row of 6 chairs. And I think, and the consensus online is that this is the multiversal Illuminati. And the Illuminati were a group of very powerful superheroes who kind of governed superheroes in general. Like, they would decide how to solve or fight or take care of giant threats to planet Earth or outer space, other planets, or the multiverse. So I think that's pretty cool. And I think that Baron Mordo, the version we see with the long hair, is actually part of that panel, and he's from a different universe where he became the Sorcerer Supreme and not Doctor Strange. A couple more seconds into this, you hear a voice that says, "We should tell him the truth." And the camera pans back, and you see the side of a male head that's bald. that's Professor Xavier, Professor X from the X-Men, and I think that that's Patrick Stewart's version from the previous X-Men films about 20 years ago, and that's awesome. The last time we saw that character was in the Logan movie, but he died in that movie. So I'm wondering if this is a version that stayed alive or traveled back in time. I don't know, we'll have to see. But I think this is excellent. I'm super excited. There was also leaked concept art from this movie that showed Wanda fighting Professor X, or it was Doctor Strange in handcuffs in front of Professor X. And Professor X had that gold floating wheelchair from the X-Men cartoon from the 90s, if you remember that. I don't know, I do. I used to watch that cartoon all the time. Super exciting, but there's still 4 more chairs. They haven't given away who's on this panel yet, but a few frames forward in the trailer, there's a being who's covered in like a glow, like a Captain Marvel glow from her powers. The binary powers. I don't think that's Captain Marvel, but I think it's a multiversal version of Captain Marvel. Maybe Monica Rambeau, maybe her mother from the first Captain Marvel movie, where she got those powers, and not Carol Danvers. And then, getting a little bit off topic from the trailer, I'm not certain who else may be on this panel, but I think maybe a version of Mr. Fantastic will be on here, even though we haven't seen the Fantastic Four in the MCU. There were previous Fantastic Four movies that Marvel now has the cinematic rights back to, so maybe we'll see one of those guys on this multiversal panel of the Illuminati. In the comic books, Mr. Fantastic was one of them. Also, Black Bolt was one of them from the Inhumans. Now, Marvel did an Inhumans TV show, and it was terrible. It was not good. Don't go and watch it. I fought through watching this. It was so bad. Anyway, they could pull that version of Black Bolt onto this, but he was a very underwhelming Black Bolt, so I don't even know if they're going to use him on this or not. One more speculation onto who's on the Illuminati here, if that's what they're doing. I think there's going to be a version of Iron Man on this panel, and I think it's an Iron Man who had his Ultron artificial intelligence working properly, and it didn't go rogue and start destroying the world. That's where those Sentinels came from, and I think Iron Man figured out time travel and multiversal travel without needing the quantum realm from Ant-Man and Hank Pym. And I think Marvel loves to do this stuff. I think that the actor who's playing this multiversal Iron Man is going to be Tom Cruise. Because when the first Iron Man film was being made, they thought about casting Tom Cruise as Iron Man. And if they don't use Tom Cruise as this multiversal Iron Man, I will be so bummed out, because I could just see him being a smarmy, arrogant, even more arrogant than ever, because he has all this knowledge about the multiverse. I really hope they use Tom Cruise. I really hope they put a version of Iron Man in this. Then we go into a sequence of Strange falling through more universes. There's one where his face is turning really blocky, kind of like the cover art from the comic series House of M, where there's a lot of blocks just breaking down reality. He also falls through a portal, and if you freeze it at just the right frame, he's falling through a universe that looks animated, like literal drawing animations. That could be linking to the What If TV show even further, pulling that cartoon universe into real life. We'll get more on the What If Doctor Strange 2 parallels when I start to talk about the poster that came out with this trailer. Then we have the evil Doctor Strange saying things just got out of hand. I think this is the Doctor Strange from the What If episode, where Doctor Strange was really messing with reality, and he ended up destroying his world and his universe, and he was basically destined to live in a tiny little bubble in desolation, protecting that mess that he made, so it didn't spread and destroy more universes. We see America Chavez and Doctor Strange. She yells, "Look out," and there's that big tentacled monster, which is known as Gargantos, apparently. I'm not familiar with him. He looks like the Shumagorath, but we'll see what happens. She screams, "Look out," and it throws a bus at her and Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange does a spell that separates the bus. It seems like it buzzsaws it in half. So I'm interested to see what that is all about, where that monster fits into things, because there was a tentacled monster throughout the What If cartoon series on Disney Plus, and I wonder if this is a live action representation of that. Once again, we'll talk about that more when I get to the poster. We have a scene with Wanda talking to a multiversal Wanda. She's probably trying to get her kids back. I really don't know what the dynamic there is going to be, but it quickly cuts to Camartage being destroyed by Wanda. That is the training site where the sorcerers basically live and train Camartage. She's destroying that. She's probably trying to get a book or a spell, or she needs something there to get through the multiverse. She might be trying to get America Chavez so she can use her to travel through the multiverse. Also, at Camartage, you see a horned creature, like a minotaur, sorta. I don't know that creature's name, but I do know that he's a multiversal being, and I think he also has the ability to travel through the multiverse. Not certain, but I think. So there's some more action, and then we see a zoom in on Wanda's face, and you can see in her eyes very briefly, and it almost looks like there's two boxes in each of her pupils, like a holding cell. And I wonder if someone is holding her children hostage, much like her and her brother were held hostage in Avengers 2 when they were being tested on for their powers. Maybe that sets her into a rage and she starts to kill a lot of people, because the next scene is her with blood all over her face attacking someone. And then you see what looks like a zombified version of her and a zombified version of Doctor Strange as well, tying into the Marvel Zombies comic book series and a brief Marvel Zombies appearance in the What If series. I keep going back to the What If series. It's definitely going to be connected to these movies. If you haven't watched it, you really should. And it wasn't bad. It was actually quite good. And then the trailer ends with Doctor Strange looking zombified, like he has some sort of dark magic flowing through him. And he does the thing with all of his arms, but they look like dead, decaying zombie arms, or just black sorcery coming off of them. I'm not really sure, but I'm very excited. Maybe one of the three or two of the three versions of Doctor Strange die in this saving reality. I'm not sure. But there's a lot going on, and I'm so excited for this movie. I can't wait. And I'm definitely going to do a whispered review of this movie when it comes out in May. Okay, so let's get into the poster breakdown. But first, if you're finding me for the first time, please like and subscribe. I post content several times a week, and I hope to see you around here again. So this poster is very complex. There's a lot going on. I'm going to put some pictures up on the screen as I talk about some of these as well. So first, it features Doctor Strange, naturally, and there's shards of glass all around him, with different people or features or Easter eggs that could potentially be in the film. The most obvious Easter egg, there's a shard of glass that looks like the Britain flag, and I think it's Peggy Carter's shield from the What If series, where she became the super soldier instead of Steve Rogers, and I think that's her Captain Britain shield, or Captain Carter's shield. I think she's going to show up in this movie. Maybe she's on that panel of the Illuminati, I'm not sure. Super exciting though. There's a lot more going on. So one of the shards of glass just looks like Doctor Strange's broken wristwatch that he featured in the first Doctor Strange. He tends to wear that around like a reminder almost of his past and how he became here. One of the shards of glass has America Chavez's face in it. Several of them have Wanda's face in it. Several of them have different versions of Doctor Strange's face in them. One of them looks like the eye of that monster Gargantos. I think that's what it is, but in a very non-suspicious way. The shard of glass is almost like a triangle with the eyeball right in the middle of it. And that's like a symbol for the Illuminati, which are rumored to be in this movie. So I think that's a kind of confirmation that we're going to see a version of the Illuminati on that panel in this movie. More characters from the film. There's one of Baron Mordo, one Shards of Glass features Christine Palmer, who is Strange's love interest, but I don't think they're together in this movie. It seems like it might be a multiversal version of her because she's shown in the trailer working in a lab that's under attack, and I think that lab, or that is that same building where the Illuminati are. There's a shard of glass of Baron Mordo in there, and the one that I am really interested in, and I'm really interested in your feedback on this. I'm going to put this up on the screen. Do you guys see anything in this shard of glass from the poster at all? Take a look at it. Think of previous Marvel films, both from Marvel Studios or Fox Studios, before Marvel had the film rights to it. When I look at this, it almost looks like a red person going like this. I'm going to put another picture up on here so you can see where I'm going with this. I don't know if that's meant to be Deadpool or not. I really think he's going to make some sort of an appearance in this movie, even if it's just him falling across the screen through universes. Here's why I think that. Marvel, first of all, Marvel is owned by Disney, and they throw tons and tons and tons of money into the productions of all of these trailers and posters, and they wouldn't put anything in there that they didn't want people seeing or thinking about. I guarantee this is on purpose. On some level, this is on purpose, because they want people talking. The second reason why I think this is on purpose, at the end of Deadpool 2, he was traveling through time with Cable's, wrist time travel device, fixing things through history. Like, he fixed that old version of Deadpool that he was, back in the X-Men movies. He tried to save his girlfriend or fiancée, and he traveled through time and did something else. So the last time we actually saw Deadpool, he was traveling through time. This is all happening now. I think he's going to get sucked into this time travel, and I think we're going to have a Deadpool appearance. He might not be a major character. He might only be on screen for 5 seconds. I think, as Strange is falling through portals, I think you're going to see Deadpool fall through a portal, and he's going to be like, oh, what the and get sucked through another portal. I think that's what it's going to be. I think fans are going to freak out, and it's going to really set up Deadpool's entrance into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, where he rightfully should be. Awesome character, really funny. I can't wait until he gets his third movie. This was a quick little review. Once again, I'm not an expert at reviewing movies or trailers, but I have a lot of fun doing it. If you liked this, let me know. I want to do more of these, where I can whisper and do a relaxing review of movies and movie trailers with you guys. Also, let me know if I missed anything that you were excited for in future MCU movies. I can talk about Marvel Comics all day long, so engage, let's start a conversation. I love it. Everybody have a great night, okay? I'll see you at the next video. Thank you very much.